the right answer. Did you drop that right rein?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep the same consistent feel on it until she answers. And then you're going to slap her. So tell me when she answers with the right answer. Keep it awfully close. Yeah, good. Good. And then coming down this next long side, ask her again. And when she responds correctly. I wouldn't say yes. She could do better. There you go. That's it. Good. Good. Super. So basically all we're doing right here is just teaching you and her a little, it's like rein training, right? Like what kind of response you're expecting from her, what kind of response or aids that you have to give, what I expect and she expects from you as a rider, okay? As far as your position goes. Good job. Ask with that right rein again. Keep it nice and soft, not stronger, but steady until she responds. She will. It might take her longer than what you would like, but you'll also notice that there are going to be times when she responds really fast. But this is a learning process for her. You probably don't remember when you were learning math that it was maybe not your best subject. I don't know, maybe it was. Oh, see, you know all about what Leonelle's going through. I was going to say, like, she's probably the math girl.
No, she's
like,
not.
Oh, no, it's simple.
She has to work hard for
Good.
that.
There you go. There you go. Good job. That's lovely. Now you're going to cross the diagonal. You're going to flex her to the right on your diagonal. You're going to keep that right flexion even when you get to the other end until she says the right answer. Okay? That's going to be tricky because you're going to turn which way? Left. But you're going to keep her flexing to the right. Trot. Keep trotting. Yeah. Until she gives you the right answer, she will. Come down the long side. Because they get pretty smart, and I don't think that she intentionally does it, but they're like, oh, we're going to turn to the left, and they start to stiffen up. And they have to learn that they need to stay relaxed on the right rein until we actually ask them to turn to the left, because then they're going to be in much better balance. So they have to wait for us.
Waiting a long time.
Keep the right flexion. Just keep it. Is your body staying in the middle? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't care what your excuse is. You have to stay in the middle. Non-negotiable. And then you move the horse while you're in the middle. And if she's not getting the idea of this, then you're going to walk. So walk, flexing right, keeping the staying pressure. And then haul. And keep asking for that right flexion.
This is that first test.
Yeah, there you go. Good. And then soften. Good girl. Now you can slowly, halt. Keeping the right flexion again. You never ask her to change yet. Good. And soften. And now slowly flex her to the left. Good. Make it stronger. Just with the horse. Asking questions. Good. And then slowly flex her to the left. Perfect. See, that's what we would like to have happen on a diagonal line, right? Yeah. But if they're braced and they're like, oh, we're going this way, and they just do it without us, that's a problem. So we have to teach them to wait for it, okay? Good. And then walk on. That's like the kindest, softest side. Looks like
actually
she's
me.
in love with you.
Mm-hmm. I pretend she is, but she will be when she figures out who I am.
Exactly. That was nice. Good.
Her seat's doing better, or her back, or whatever that is.
Good job. And down the long side. Are you sitting in the middle? Good. Flexing left, faster. For the left flexion without getting stronger. Sitting in the middle, even if she tries to avoid the door. Tell me when she says yes. You can circle 20 meters down on that end. Good. Yeah, good. And when she's pretty good on the straight line, then you can have her neck just a little bit straighter. So right here, your left reign's a little bit shorter than your right rein. I want your reins to be a little more equal. And then flex her to the left. Now circle left. Now cross your reins over. Where's your thumb? Keep your knuckles towards your mouth. There you go. Good job. Good job. Good. Now on the circle, first I want you to flex her to the right. Slowly. I can see what she'll give to that right flexion. And if she doesn't, then we're going to walk again. Because should she be supple on both reins? Always, yeah. So walk. Keep the right rein, yep. Keep walking. Good. And now slowly flex her back to the left. Good, into the truck. So the reason I had you do that is because she's starting to overbend her neck just a little bit too much to the left. So we want to make sure that she's accepting the right rein as well. So this is nice on the left, yeah? So let's try the right flexion. Taking her on the circle. Is your seat in the middle? Better stay in the middle while you use that leg. There you go. Good. And now back to the left flexion. Good job. Trotting on. Good job. Good. And now back to right flexion again. Super. Active. Straight ahead. Oop. So next time you're going to come straight ahead down the long side. Towards me. With right flexion. Yep. Good. Good. Now slowly flex her to the left. Good job. Use your inside leg. Good job. Flexing her left. Get the correct answer. She's got to soften her jaw, pull, neck, into her withers. You should feel it all the way back into her tail. There you go. Good. Good. Now change your flexion to the right. That's nice, Brooke. Pull, jaw, withers, neck, into her back, all the way into her tail. And you can feel it. You'll start to feel like that you have to use a little bit of leg, huh? Because now it's not just her neck and jaw that's the issue, is it? Now you're feeling it in her back, aren't you? Yeah? You're starting to feel it into her back, into her hip. And sometimes it reflects in the jaw, but if you helped her out with a little bit of supporting leg, you could help her lift her back a little bit more. There you go. And then to the walk. Keep that right side. And then to the halt. right side until you feel it all the way into her back. That's right.
Good.
Good. And then walk on. Good. And then change your flexion back to the left. So the right side's the stiff side, isn't it?
Yeah, she's super stiff.
Because right now her left side's a little stiff, so keep feeling that left rein. So you feel all the way back to the muscles into her hip. Good job, Brooke. And then to the trot again. Good. Now onto a 20-meter circle. Can you feel all the way back into her hip on this left rein? No, you cannot. Good. Yeah. Good. Now try the right side. I want it to feel the same as it did on the left. Tell me when it feels the same. You need a lift?
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good. There you go. Good. To the trot. She's still staying pretty soft on the reins. Are you staying soft on the reins? Good. Okay, so now that right flexion. You feel it into her right hip without letting her neck overbend, right? Because sometimes she does so much in her neck. I agree with you that she doesn't respond at all with the hip. So you only let the neck go as much as you need it to, which isn't very far. There you go. Good. And now slowly change that flexion back to the left. She thinks you're kind of crazy asking her to do this like counterflex. But I really feel like this is where a lot of that issue lies, because then when you're going left, you can still address the softness on the right side of her body, which will make her rounder for you. Because then when you touch this right rein, even when you're going left, you should feel a response that goes all the way through her back into her hip. That just doesn't end at her face, right? Yeah, now check the right rein and see if you can still feel a response all the way back. That was nice, huh? That was super. And then back to the left again. That's exactly how we want it to be, Brooke. Because then you have that magical word called throughness, yeah? Can you feel the difference in her? Yeah. Whole bunch more actively without you having to try it. Because now the energy is what they call it like recycling, right?
Yeah.
You can almost recycle the energy through your body instead of trying to create energy or push it through your body. Now flex to the right again and check that right flexion. Perfect, bro. Perfect. Trot on. Good. And then flex back to the left again. Good. Now you're going to cross the diagonal. You're going to keep that left flexion. Cross your diagonal. Good. Now you're going to try your right flexion. It's got to come through her body, through her right hip. Feel for it until she accepts it. Right, touch her with the right whip a little bit, not to make her go faster, but to just say, hey, recognize this part of your body. Good for you. Good. And again, touch her with the right whip just to say, like, hey, remember you have a hip here, because she forgets sometimes. She forgets. Little flexion to the right again. Yes, good. Now on the circle line, you're going to flex her to the left, which hopefully she should be pretty happy about. Active. That was almost too much bend in the neck, yeah? You can't really feel her hip and her back on that left side because she didn't connect it. She kind of disconnected it. There you go. Good. Now flex her back to the right, keeping the back and hip connected to the flexion. There you go. The back and her hip have to stay connected to the flexion. Good job, back to the left again. Her back and her hip stay connected to the flexion. Yes, and flex back to the right. Back and hip stay connected. Yep, keep them connected. Good, down the long side. Good, is she light in the reins? Yep. Good. Super. Really nice. Do your back and hip stay connected in that walk?
She was ready.
And then you're going to trot again, so you've got to get a better walk transition. So that's her right. Good. Keep her back and hip connected. And you have to really concentrate on it into the walk transition, okay? So you're thinking about it, really making sure that she keeps her hip connected to that flexion. So when it feels correct, you're going to ask for the walk again. Keep the hip connected to the flexion. So the walk might not be as fast. There you go. That was better. Good. Good. Okay, give her a little bit of a break for a second. How's that feel to you?
Mm-hmm.
You guys drink that coconut water stuff?
You gotta try that one. I can't do coconut water.
That one is
Can't do it one. Just take one sip just to get your mouth wet. I can't do it at all. We made everybody drink it this week, and this one's good. No,
It's nasty.
Somebody gave me like one that
it's
had like
so
holes
bad.
in it.
Yeah, this one does.
Oh
But
my
we
gosh,
strain
I
it.
was like, no.
Can I
Like
have the water,
boogers.
please?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know it was right here. I would have given that to you.
Let me pour this in there. In the ice.
Are you learning new things? It's so hard exercising.
She's like, this is so hard. I look out the window, Tom. You're hot.
Thank you.
Alright, so start with the flexion again.
Is there a 7-Eleven in town? Slurpee just through the door. That is no... That's not close enough.
What?
Ringville. Oh my gosh, what's up with all the pens down there today?
There you go. Good job.
It's just working awesome.
So you feel it connecting to her back and her hip. Start getting stronger. Tap her hip. Her hip is lagging behind doing like who knows what. Nothing.
Go higher.
There you go. Good. And then you take your flexion back to the right. And then to the trot. So once on this 20-meter circle, I want you to flex left. Good. And flex back to the right. So the hips connected to the rein. And then to the canter. Trot. And the same thing. Is the hip connected to the right rein? Well then, gotta work on it. Which part is it because her jaw and her pole isn't flexing? Or is it because her hip sticks to the inside? So the goal is to keep that right flexion in her jaw and her pole, and then you're going to have to tuck her right hip into her body a little bit as you lead her shoulders to the right with your right rein. That'll not getting really strong, okay? Connect it to your seat so your seat doesn't move around. Is your core strong? Is your lower back connecting into the saddle? So remember the one, there you go. The way you get a deeper seat in the, as part of your half halt is you engage your stomach muscles, move them like you're shifting them into your low back. And then you engage your back muscles, and that makes your seat deeper, okay? When your seat gets deeper, it's going to stabilize where your seat bones are. Good. And then you're going to have a place to balance her too, okay? Once you can keep your seat in the same spot, then your aids can be softer and more reasonable because you're staying in the same, you're staying in one place, and then you can manage her, all right? But again, back to the very beginning of our lesson, if you are allowing her to move you around in that saddle, then nothing works, okay? I could give you 500 aids and nothing would work. So you've got to stay down in your seat, like you're sitting. You use your low back, keep your upper ab muscles a little bit more engaged so your upper body doesn't slam backwards in the canter. There you go, good. And now as you're sitting a little quieter, you're going to ask for a flexion to the right. Watch that your upper abs can't come out. Remember how I said that your sternum has to be slightly in front of your abs? Does it feel like it's slightly in front of your abs? Yeah, it keeps falling backwards, doesn't it? So you got to pull it forward. Pull it forward. You got it. Steady. Keep your lower back engaged while you pull your upper abs a little bit more forward. Or your sternum, I should say. There you go.
Better.
Now you're going to flex her to the right. So when you feel that start to happen, that's when you can start maneuvering your horse. Otherwise, it's almost,
And that would have killed her if
Otherwise,
those birds were
it's almost a little bit unfair to her. Okay? That's it. Good. Is she starting to respond? Yeah, she is. It's not going to be huge leaps and bounds, typically. Good. But you start to get her in a little bit better alignment. She starts to have a lot less drop in that canter. She starts to bring her shoulders around her hips and soften in her body. Good girl. Good girl. That's it. And it all starts with you. Super. Good job. That's okay. Just let her trot for a second. Now you're going to connect that right rein again to that right hip. Softly, not strong. So no matter how tired you get, you don't get to be stronger on the reins, because I'm sure she's tired too. Good job. Good job. And then you're going to flex her to the left. And again, connect the left rein to her left hip. Good. Okay. Good. And then again, flex her back to the right. Use a little bit of your right leg. Engage your right hip a little bit with the flexion. Engage the right hip with the flexion. That's it. Good job. Good. And then to the walk. So did you feel a little bit about what I was talking about in the canter? Like as soon as your body started to get stable, then she was like, okay, now I think I'm going to try to understand what you're saying with your aids. Before then, when you're like slamming around in the saddle, because you get, it's not like you're moving like crazy person, but it's harsh. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like what I see from you is like bam, bam, bam.
I'm just trying to keep my butt in the saddle.
Yeah, so she feels this like whiplash type effect on her back. So she's not paying attention to none of your aids